Hey, Scott Grove here, and I've been working on my kitchen for the last month, kind of building the whole thing myself. And a lot of you have sort of asked, how am I building my cabinets? So in this episode, I'm going to show you how I've done it. This is basically just how to build the boxes. So let's go out to the shop and I'll show you that. So when I decided to film this, I literally filmed building the last cabinet. So it's sort of this kind of custom cabinet here. It's based on a 32 millimeter system, and I'll explain a little more about that in a bit. These are melamine cabinets, edge banded, inline drilled, and the hinges installed. So just to give you a little background on me while we go out to the shop, I've been doing this for 30, 40 years, building boxes. And at one point I had a 10,000 square foot shop with 10 employees, and we did a lot of boxes. I had my own custom line of furniture, but also did a lot of corporate work and back office, cubicles and what have you. So I really pride myself on trying to build the best box most efficiently. So let's go into the shop here, and I'm going to start with cutting panels. So processing panels is a key component. Be able to do this efficiently, having good storage, although using a panel rack that flips over is really great. For me, what's really critical is being able to cut your panels square. That's very, very important. And I have a Grizzly sliding table saw. It's a 60-inch cut. I used to have a 10-inch saw, but when I moved scale down to my small shop here, about 2,000 square feet, I felt this was a good compromise. I can do a Baltic birch, which comes in 60-inch lengths, and I can cut 4x8 sheets sort of in half and go from there. So having a sliding table saw is certainly great, but certainly for the small, shop or hobbyist, you might have to use a beam saw or a boat to go on your regular table saw. Those are those sort of sleds that you make. And the key is you have to be able to cut very accurate square panels. So this is my sliding table saw. And as a side note, nobody's paying me to endorse any equipment here. This is stuff that I just use, and that's it. So after you cut the panels, then I like to put a rabbet into the back edge so the back of the panel can recess in. Again, you can use this with a dado on a table saw, although I found a shaper to work the best. I have a power feed. What that does is cut perpendicular to the melamine surface, gives you a much cleaner cut. You can also use a router or a router table to do that. After I rabbet the panels, I will then edge band. Now, I used to have a big, scary $25,000 edge bander, but again, don't have room for that. So what I use now is this fast edge peel and stick tape. This is great stuff, and I teach 32 millimeter construction, and we've done time studies, and I know this is more expensive, but for the dollar and for what your time is worth, this is probably the most cost-effective way to go. You simply peel it, stick it on, press for a little extra pressure, press it on with a little extra pressure. It's a moisture cure adhesive, so after 24 hours, it's really stuck on there. Then use this end cutting device that will trim the overlaps to flush to the ends, and then a trimming. You can do this on a router table also, but these just work fine. I also do have a mini edge bander, which is great, but again, by the time you get it set up, and if you're doing onesie-twosies, let me kind of show you what that is. That's down there. They work fine, but again, it's all about setup, and I'm sort of doing this job in between my other day job of commission work, so I just found that the edge bander or the edge tape works just fine. The next thing you want to do is understand a 32 millimeter system. So that's a whole nother class into itself. One of these days I'll do an online course for that. But that's those holes that you see inside your cabinet that you think are just for adjustable shelves. Well, yes, they are, but they are much more than that. If you place the holes exactly in the right location, most hardware today has what's called a system screw. That's a 5 millimeter Euro screw, and they're all placed so the hardware sits 37 millimeters back from the front edge. And once you know that, and you have the location of them up and down, you can throw away your tape measure. And this makes installing hardware extremely fast, and that's where you're gonna save time. But you have to drill those holes accurately. So I have a Grass Europress. This press here drills the hinges and installs the hinges. It also has a 5-bit head that goes in there. I can drill rows of 32 millimeter holes or 5 millimeter holes 32 millimeters apart. You can also do this with these sort of drilling gauges. These are great for one-off runs, if you will. This is a bottleneck, so if you're drilling a lot of cabinets, from here I actually went up to a 64-bit 2-row drill press. They also make 32 drill bit inline presses. So if you get into kitchens and making boxes, you're going to want to look into that. But for now, for onesie-twosie cabinets, this is a great item here. After that, I then will pocket screw the cabinets together. Some people will just staple, but when you're stapling or screwing your cabinets together just without a pocket screw, you're going parallel with the grain structure of the fiber board or the particle board, and they're not as strong. So a pocket screw is much stronger. I like the Castle. This is a pneumatic machine, and the reason I like that is it drills a hole from one direction at 2 degrees and cuts the pocket at 7 degrees on the other end. Reason being is like a Craig bit or any of these other bigs, there's nothing wrong with them. Again, those are great. They drill and pocket all at 7 degrees, so there's more creep. When you're putting the screw in, the panel will shift. I still clamp my panels together before I screw them together, but the Castle machine is a great machine, all pneumatic, very fast, great way of constructing boxes. And then from there, I'll take my base plates, my screw-on base plates from my Euro hinges. You'll want to get those base plates with the screws attached because they then have a 5 millimeter screw that goes into those 32 millimeter, 5 millimeter system holes, and you can just simply count the holes. You put one up, and you put your base your plate in, and one from the top, and the plate goes in. And then if you know the math, I'm not going to get into the whole math of it all, but you can drill the doors. It'll drill a hole and also insert the hinge very, very fast. And that's where you're making up a lot of time if you go into that. And just using frameless cabinets and European construction and the system hole and 32 millimeters, just really, really fast. I also take the boxes and make just the boxes without the toe kick. The reason I do that is because if you have, say, 3 or 4 cabinets together, I'll make one toe kick, install that first, and I can level that entire toe kick all at one shot. And now I know the entire run is completely level. I use a laser to level that up. Then I can just set the cabinets on top of there, screw them all together, and much faster than trying to level every cabinet individually. So yeah, there's a crash course on how I make cabinets. I imagine I forgot something. Oh, the back. I use 1/2-inch backs. Some people use 1/4-inch backs, but I find them just a little flimsy. And I recess that rabbet in 3/4 of an inch, allows me to scribe, and I can put a 1/4-inch filler strip on the top and the bottom so the back won't blow out when you screw it to the wall. Woo! Hope that makes sense. It probably does to your cabinet makers, and if not, for people who are just following me and friends and stuff, thanks for your support, and keep watching the kitchen. That is just temporary doors, all that white melamine. We're going to veneer it and do something real sexy there, so be real fun. Thanks again for watching. Hope this helps. That's how I make my kitchen cabinets. Okay, take care. Bye.